Hey guys, here we have a Nutone Sea Island in brown. I just did a video where I showed you how to fix a couple of the common issues with these. One, I talked about the loose switch housing, and then two, we just went through the wiring, because these use a slightly less common wiring scheme. Like the last couple fans I tested, these use a transformer for medium and low. And I think the transformer in this one is bad, and I'll show you why. There's just very little difference between the speeds. So we'll start it off on low. Hitting the high switch over here, it's on low on the pull chain. Oh, nope, now it's fine. I don't know what it was before, 0.4. Maybe there's something loose in there. I tested it before, and there was a very little difference between medium and low, but now this is a normal low speed for this. What else was I going to talk about? I got real sidetracked by that. This is a 84 model with the black stamped motor. The earliest imported Nutones had black cast motors, then they had gold stamped motors, and then black stamped motors. This is the black stamped motor. And we talk about some Nutones being fast and some being slow. The gold ones are typically fast. The cast ones are typically slow. This one seemed a little slow, so I switched the cap. The cap that was in it it's a 4.5 microfarad, and it measured out at about 4.3. So that's slightly low, but not egregious. But I just put a 4.5 in there that measures 4.5. And now it hits the... so low again. Well, it's 0.4. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired and hallucinating. So medium, 0.53. And, yeah, lost my train of thought there for a second, but, it's rated at 0.75, and with the correct value cap, it nails 0.75 on high. So that's one thing you can check out if you've got a Nutone that seems slow. If it's they should draw right about at the rated current. So this one is not, I wouldn't call this slow or fast. This is, you know, slightly slower than a really good K55 style fan. But it's not like, oh my god, that's noticeably slow. That's kind of about an Emerson high speed, really. Because Emerson, even with their K55 fans, has a little bit slower high. Yeah, still does the... still fits in with the rest of the K55 type fans, even though it's a spinner motor. In terms of airflow back here, it's comparable to any K55 fan that we've tested recently. So it just doesn't fly like the Hacienda did. So yeah, medium, low, off. If I had to wager a guess, say, okay, cast Nutone slow, other than the industrials. And really, those 48-inch industrials do not fly. Those could stand to go a little faster for my tastes. Cast Nutone slow, gold stamp motor fast, black stamp motor average. So, if you're interested in comparing the years too, I need to see if there's a year on, it's funny, the only ones I have with the gold motor are Haciendas. No, I've got a gold motor Sea Island somewhere in storage. I've never tested it though. It's interesting because even their American-made fans, they use different motor types that had different speeds. They just didn't seem to care about being consistent. Low reverse, 0.44. So it looks like it's going to draw a little more in reverse. Medium reverse, 0.59. I've talked in previous videos, I'll mention it again. My childhood Sea Island, I did definitely see these at my child. Yeah, 0.79 on high reverse, so faster and high reverse. I did see these as a child. My favorite one, the one that I remember, was in the window of a store downtown. It was brown and brass with white blades and a bell canopy. One of the oddest finish combinations I've seen. So let's cut the power, put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Yeah, I know, that was dumb, and no, none of you probably get that reference anyhow, because none of y'all listened to hip-hop in the 90s. So, Missy Elliott. Okay, I was pretty close that time. 1 microfarad. 2. 3. Wow, didn't think it would take this much. 4. I really like sea islands in the proper setting. Ooh, really? Was not expecting that either. 5.27 is what it takes to get this going. And that's the bearings tested good, and the cap is new. That's a good low speed though with the 5, so I guess that's what it is. Yeah, I like haciendas in the right setting. Restaurant that's not too fancy, you know, store of the same variety, or store where you need residential looking fans, but nothing too fancy. I've seen them in master bedrooms, and that's fitting to me if it's like not a big or fancy master bedroom, you know, like a real modest house. 6.32, 7.38, 8.43, 9.48, 10.52. So here's medium with the Nutone wall control. Maybe over a kitchen table, or over the dining room table again in a like kind of a farmhouse kind of thing, something that's not too fancy. 12.56, 13.5. Sorry about that, guys. My wife called me in the middle of the video. I don't always put my phone on airplane mode because I'm uploading videos while I'm filming them and blah blah blah. And yeah. So anyhow, where are we at? We're at 14 is where we left off. 15.65. Oh wow, it's okay. 17.69. 20.74. That's awfully close. Yeah, we're gonna stop there. So I'll let it spin down just because this is going to be a second half of the video. So there'll be a part 1 and a part 2, and at some point I'll probably join them together and make one long video. But in the meantime, this way you get a spin down in both, because I know how people like spin downs. I was very confused at why the filming stopped, because it stopped filming and then there was like a few second pause before my phone started ringing. I'm like, did my battery die? Did I run out of space? None of those things should be true. Okay, it's a solid state. It took a while for it to start with the capacitor, so I guess it'll take a while for it to start. Where are we at? 0.22? Seems like there's a spot that's catching. That could either be a dead spot in the rotor or it could be a rough spot in the bearing. But I can see it. I'm having trouble. 1/8 of a turn, 0.27. It's a little buzzy. 1/8 of a turn, 0.4. In my opinion, these look appropriate with a schoolhouse globe. 1/8 of a turn, 0.56. High, 0.72. Yeah, it's a powerful fan. These flies are still up here. I'm going to have to get some fly paper, unless just the cold kills them. Once it gets cold, I don't know if I want to wait that long. This is what I was going to film until I saw this. This was actually sitting on my workbench waiting for me to work on it. And I was like, well, let me just see what it needs. And then when I figured out what it needed, I'm like, well, let me do a video demonstrating how to fix these issues. Because all it really needed was the switch housing tightened, but I figured while I had it open, I would walk through all the wiring. First, I was going to be just make notes for myself of how to wire them up in the future. I'm like, no, let's do a video for people. And, yep. Okay, 0 to high. Interesting that it goes straight to 0.75, because with no blades, it went to 0.79 and then dropped. I'm going to try. I don't think I have enough hands for that. I was going to try holding it stalled and then checking the current, but I think I won't be able to see the ammeter and definitely won't be able to hold the camera, and this will be too complicated. I'll do that sometime. Remind me to do that on a fan when Metal Pete and or Andy are here. Any of the usual suspects. So, okay, well that's it for the Sea Island. And, yep, one more fan tonight.